Hi, I'm Ian.
Hey, Mia, pleasure to have you. So obviously you're interested in Compassion International, but before we officially begin, just tell me a little bit about yourself, just your background, your experiences.
Well, I am a recent college graduate. I'm 22 years old. I'm an international business major, and I've been volunteering for the past 4 years. I love volunteering, and I saw that in Compassion International. So who I am is an outgoing person. I love people, and I feel like that's the forefront of my mind is people. And so whatever I do, it is to help people and to serve people.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And so obviously you're a people person, and so how do you see that aspect of yourself in sort of the next 5 to 10 years? How will you use that in your career?
Well, I see myself in Compassion International for at least the next 5 years, and what I want to do is customer service representative. Customer service representative. And that being said, bringing people to Compassion International and getting them more involved, that's a core aspect of what I want to do in the next 5 years. In the next 10 years, I can definitely see myself being involved with Compassion International, working overseas. That's also what I'd like to do, is work in Asia, Africa, or Europe and South America.
So you are willing to travel then?
Absolutely.
Okay. And so, I think you've already gone into a little bit, but sort of what's been your initial interest in wanting to work for Compassion International? Why not a different organization that does something similar to what we do? Why us?
Well, Compassion International is a very well-known company. They've been around since the 1960s, and they started off as a nonprofit. They still are a nonprofit.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest, most successful things that they do is sponsoring the children. I personally have experience with this with my family, where my parents have they sponsored a few children actually, and so I see that as such an important aspect of their company, and I want to get more involved in that.
Okay, cool. So for this position, what's special about you and your characteristics that are going to bring value to us, to Compassion International?
Absolutely. Well, I do have a servant's heart, and I feel that I can bring light and joy into any room that I'm involved with. And I feel like for me, I have a drive to help others, and I thrive in an environment where there's other people around me, where I get to help them and I get to serve them. And, yeah.
So what's an example of you being able to serve and help other people? Give me an example of just what that looks like for you.
Absolutely. Well, I was involved with volunteering at 3D with a youth group in Tulsa, Victory Christian School. I was volunteering there for a few years, and I was able to bring people in the doors and give them high fives and invite a welcoming environment, as well as I was an usher at Victory for a couple years, and really get to you get to know the Tulsa community through ushering and get to know people. It's a great experience.
Yeah, bit of that myself. I've heard of Victory, so it's definitely cool that you're involved with them.
Yeah.
So give me an example of a time where you've had to overcome a setback, whether that's in your work career or in college. Is a time where you've had something that you've had to overcome?
Well, there was a time in my old position as a valet where we were going through a leadership transition where the old manager had just put in his 2 weeks notice, and the head manager was not aware. He was aware of it. He wasn't prepared for it, and so he had to kind of scramble just to find somebody to fulfill that leadership position. He had asked me, and I was involved at school, was taking 18.5 credit hours that semester, and I just couldn't afford to be a manager. And so the manager that came in was not very trained for the position, and the company started seeing a very much so decline in turnover and all that stuff. But that being said, I was able to overcome that because I worked right alongside with that manager. Even though I wasn't a manager, I was able to help her and kind of train her to expect what she needs to expect in everyday assets of the company.
Okay. So you're basically able to sort of lessen any negative impact that her unpreparedness had for you guys and your team. Okay, cool. All right, so I think the last question is, what has been one of your most creative achievements as an individual?
Most creative achievements, well, growing up, I was always involved with motorsports, and I loved hobbies and all that.
Yeah.
But really, what clicked it was whenever I became a pause it real quick.